Hello, this is Friday, the 8th of November 2019. I am Thekla Petridou, a psychologist and an author, and today I'm going to talk to you about friendships. I've got some questions here that I picked up from your emails concerning friendships nowadays. Why are friendships so difficult nowadays? Why some people ghost us? How can we be sure who to trust? What about opportunistic friendships? So, friendships are a fundamental value in our modern society. All of you, those of you who have watched the previous videos in English that I upload every Friday on my channel, you must have listened to me before talking about our primitive nature and that we are born in a modern time, in nowadays, but we carry a primitive body. And the way our body is wired and our brain is wired is to survive in primitive conditions. Primitive people did not need friendships. Our ancestors, they were born in tribes and they were protected by their tribe and they were a part of their tribe. In prehistoric ages, there was no romantic love, no friendship. There was a group of people, a tribe, something like a small village, that they all lived together, they all had babies together. You know, in primitive societies, the father of the baby was never known, only the mother was known, because free was sex and people were all together. All women were together all day, caring for the children of the tribe, preparing food and doing the things around the caves that they lived in, and all the men of the tribe, they went hunting and bringing food. So people, human beings, are born in a modern society being primitively wired. So we do not know how to form friendships. Friendships are relationships which are very important for us, for our well-being, for our emotional well-being, because in modern times we do not live in tribes, we do not belong where we have been born by nature. What I mean a primitive person, a prehistoric person, didn't have much choices. You were born in a tribe, you were a member of the tribe, you lived your life there, you died there, and you are one of a group. In a modern society, we do not live in groups. We live in nuclear families or we live alone. Children are being brought up usually in a family where there is one parent or two parents cohabiting with them. I think that half the children of our times are being brought up in single parent households. But even if both your parents live with you, you are a very small group. 2 adults and 1 child, 2 adults and 2 children, 2 adults and 3 children maybe. It's an exception nowadays, the families with a lot of children, because siblings who are brought up in the same household, usually they become friends as well when the circumstances are natural and positive. I mean, not in the case that the parents interact with their children in different manner and they make problems between their children's relationship when they favorite one children against the other. In most families that they have 5 children, 6 children, 7 children, usually the siblings have a lot of friendship relationships. They're friends with each other because they are born in the same environment and they are brought up together and they face the same difficulties, or they have the same memories and they get connected. Friendship is a love relationship that is platonic. The only difference between a love relationship, a romantic relationship, falling in love and having a relationship with somebody, and friendship, is that in friendships you do everything else except from the erotic part. We do not have any intimate sexual relationships or erotic relationships with our friends. Friendships are platonic loves, and it is not easy. It is not easy to form a friendship, a healthy friendship, a friendship that is equal, that both people who enter this relationship are both willing to offer and receive love, communication, and other human values. You ask me, why is it difficult? Is it so difficult to have friendships in modern times, in our time? It's difficult because of how our society is built. We don't live any longer in small villages or in neighborhoods. We don't know our neighbor. Children are being brought up in nuclear families. Most of the time they are alone or with their parents or with their siblings if they have any. And the society is not supportive. We do not have the community. Because even in historic times, even like 50 years ago or 60 years ago, people had more community bonds. But with a modern way of life, even in the country, people are not so connected in a community anymore. So it's more difficult to obtain real friendships. And one reason is because they are so important. Because if you live in a community and you have a lot of people in the same community, and you know that each day you'll get up in the morning, you'll go at the post office, you'll go at the bakery of your neighborhood or your small village of your community, you're gonna see maybe 100, 150 people a day. You do not mind if you do not have strong friendships. I mean, you feel friends with everybody, or you feel connected with everybody. But modern lives are very, very lonely. Even when we go to work, we might work by ourselves. We might work in those offices that they also have boards. I mean, they are in the same room, like 5, 6, or 7, or 20, or 30 employees, but they are in their box, and they are not allowed to talk to each other and look at their computers and work quietly, silently. Modern way of life, working so many hours and having to spend so much time traveling to work and traveling from work, all these long hours that we work, the economic difficulties we face, make it harder and harder for us to obtain relationships, healthy relationships, and in this instance, friendships. So it's not nowadays that friendships are difficult. Friendships were always difficult to form, but nowadays, because they are so important, so essential, this makes it even more difficult. Why some people ghost us? Ghosting is the situation where somebody gets away from a relationship, a love relationship or a friendship, disappears like a ghost in thin air without any explanation. Ghosting is when you have somebody that you have a friendship with, yet you talk on the phone regularly, that you go for coffee, that you meet once a week or twice a week, or maybe you talk 2 or 3 times a day, and suddenly that person takes off. He or she doesn't answer your texts, they don't call you, they avoid you, and they might even block you on the phone, on Facebook, on social media, etc. Why some people ghost other people? Why ghosting is it's such a prominent problem, emotional problem. It's a traumatic experience that so many of us have to face in our lives. I think that everybody has faced ghosting either in a love relationship, in a romantic relationship, or in a friendship. For me, the reason is very obvious, that people are too much in a hurry, too busy thinking about or trying to obtain, I don't know what, money, what they think is important for them, and they forget that when they connect with other people, those other people are human beings and they have souls and they have hearts, and they get upset when they ghost them. For me, ghosting is a sign that somebody is not only immature and not able to communicate his feelings, but it's a proof that somebody is insensitive and doesn't have any empathy. Because when you have empathy, you realize that the other person will feel so sad, will feel betrayed if you ghost him or ghost her. I think that it's a fundamental human right to end a relationship, to end a friendship at this instance, and we are totally allowed to end a friendship, but we owe to ourselves, we owe to, out of respect for the other human being, to explain why. To go and have closure before you leave. Because if you leave a relationship without having any closure, that means that you don't know how to say this in English. You know, I usually talk, I'm Greek. I'm Greek Cypriot, so my English is, I speak English as a second language. It's like that you dump, you don't give any value, even on yourself and on the time you invested on that relationship. Ghosting is very painful and can cause us trauma if we get ghosted. How can we be sure who to trust? Because there are, as you say, opportunistic friendships, friendships that are created for a reason. Somebody wants to be your friend in order to acquire something from you, in order to have a free psychologist or a free nurse or a free counselor, or to learn or to take something materialistic from you, so to come and eat in your house or take advantage of you. And then when they don't need you anymore and they find somebody else to take advantage of, they take off, they ghost people and they go away. How do we know who to trust? First of all, in order to be able to distinguish which people are our real friends and which people are there for their benefit, we need to have experiences. We need to live. All of us, growing up, in our teenage years, in our first years of adulthood, even in middle age as I am now, we have experiences. We meet people, we have friendships. Some friendships tend to be treasured. Some others tend to be opportunistic. Some people stay there. Some people leave and explain why, and that it's okay for you and yourself. Some people leave without explanation, they ghost you. So when you have a lot of positive and negative experiences, then you can learn from your experiences what are the signs that somebody is for real or somebody is taking advantage of you. I will just say some that I've learned from my own experience. That when somebody approaches you and they are interested only in talking about themselves, they are interested only in obtaining stuff from themselves. They ask for money, they ask for gifts, they ask for, can you take me there? Can you give me a lift? Can you lend me some money? Can you take care of my children? Can you babysit for me? Can you cook for me? Can you do some stuff for me? And it's also always asking and not giving. That's not a good sign. If somebody remembers you only when they are down, only when they have a fight with their boyfriend or girlfriend, only when they are in a difficult point in their lives, and they call only to say their problems, and they want to meet only when they don't feel well, but they forget about you when they are happy. That's not a good sign either. And the most important clue is what your gut instinct says. Our gut instinct is what we feel naturally the first time we meet a person, even before we get introduced to that person, or we start having a conversation, or we try to form a friendship with that person. If from the beginning we feel that we do not click with the person, that something doesn't feel right, we should trust our instinct. Our gut instinct is protecting us from dangers. And even if we are emotionally vulnerable and we are at a point in our life that we feel lonely and we want to have friends and we wish so much to have somebody to spend time with, somebody to take walks with, somebody to go out with, somebody to talk with, even if we are desperate, I mean, we are emotionally vulnerable, our gut instinct will ding, it will make a sound. Listen to our gut instinct. In the case that you are currently in a relationship, in a friendship, that you are not sure if it's good friendship for you, if it is a real friendship, if it's not, if you wonder whether it's an opportunistic friendship, test it. Don't be afraid to test it. Ask the questions. Why do you want to, what do you like in our friendship? Why did you choose me to be your friend? What do you think of our relationship, of our friendship? Try not to call. If you see that you are the one always calling and asking for, let's go out, let's have dinner, let's do something, try not to call. Or if you have, you feel neglected by your friend, speak up. Say to your friend, I feel that you do not care so much about me. I feel that you do not answer my calls, or I am always the one calling you. Of course, you should consider the situation realistically. If one of the two friends is very busy, if it's a young mother, for example, raising children, she has young children in the house, and she works and she cooks and she cleans and she has the children as well, she might not have so much spare time as a young woman who is single and she's not working. You understand? According to their circumstances, their personal circumstances, do they value their friendship according to how much they can give, or they do not value their friendship? And I will close this video with another notion that there are so many people out there that are lonely and they do not have friends. If you are lonely, if you wonder why me, why am I lonely? Why I don't have any friends? It's not just you. Many people are lonely and many people do not have friends. So you are not alone. You are not alone at being lonely. You are not alone at being without friends. Try, my suggestion is try to engage in social activities that include interaction with other people. For example, you can take up some free classes. You can start going to dancing classes or exercising in a group or doing something that involves meeting new people. And it's very rare to find a true friendship, but when you find it, you will know it is true and it's real. And we do not need too many friendships in our lives. 1 or 2 trustworthy, real friends are enough for our well-being. Thank you for listening to me. If you enjoyed my video, please share. And every Friday I upload a video in English on my YouTube channel. Have a nice weekend. Bye.